Hello, this is Doc Penguin Doc doing a video response for the Hangar logic question. So the specific Hangar example is one shuttle, one entry exit that is shared, and then it specifically spins around once it is in the hangar. So I also put in a hangar door. Doesn't really affect it necessarily, but here we go. First, we're just going to show how do you use it. One button. That's my preference for everything is minimize buttons. So one button here. If the button is on, the ship does not want you. It either spits you out or locks you out. If it is off, the ship wants you. It will either take in the shuttle or close in the shuttle. Pretty simple functionality as far as using it. So how do we make it work? I'm assuming people understand rails. All you need is one rail that goes in, comes out. So this is just pulling it in. These are pushing it out. Okay. A little bit of lag. We're just going to ignore that. Hopefully that is not going to impede the course of this video. I just wanted to show off here also that pickup rails, you don't need to be adjacent. You can, as long as the docker is able to flow, it is fine. We'll get to the rotate. That's part of the logic. That's later. Oh, and obviously put a speed controller just to max things out. On to the hangar door. This is irrelevant, however you make it. One door, two doors, rotate. As long as you have an open and close, you're good. Same with here. All you need is the rail, whether it's got pickups or not, just comes in, goes out. That's all you need. So now, for the logic. This is kind of just a general thing, but just in case it's not obvious, you have a flip-flop, you have a knot. You tie it back and forth. Now, when you do this, it'll go option A, option B, option A, option B. So that's kind of the crux of most logic things. In this case, the flip-flop is a wireless and a remote, ship remote, just tied back and forth. And then you tie the ship remote and the knot. You do the same on the shuttle, ship remote, and wireless. Then you do the wireless on the shuttle into the ship. So now what you have is a flip-flop that is tied to this flip-flop. And then this flip-flop and this knot go back and forth. So flip-flop is you do not want the ship or shuttle. The knot is you want the shuttle. There's two possibilities in either case. You don't want the shuttle, but you have the shuttle. You don't want the shuttle, you don't have the shuttle. And then vice versa. So what you need to do is you need to know whether or not you have the shuttle. This really is only related to the door, to be clear, but we're going through with this anyway. If you... Oh, so to know if you have the shuttle or not, just take your rail, take every piece, put it into an activation module. C, V, C, V. Take a second activation module. This is specifically for the rotation. Actually, no, you'd need this. Take the final resting point. That is a separate activation module, so that's just when you know that it's parked. So now we have 4 options, which are these ands. So basically, and 1. You don't want the shuttle, you have the shuttle. And 2. You don't want the shuttle, you don't have the shuttle. This and is just the inverse of, or this not, I'm sorry, is the inverse of you detecting it on the rail. You want the shuttle, you have the shuttle, boom. You want the shuttle, you don't have the shuttle, boom. Okay, 4 options. If you want the shuttle, or if you don't want the shuttle, and you have the shuttle, then you need to shoot it out and open the door. If you don't want the shuttle, you don't have the shuttle, you close the door, shoot it out, or just, turn off the pickup point. And the pickup point, all you need to do is just take the knot connected to the pickup point. That pretty much covers it. It's not perfect because obviously in this scenario, the pickup point is on even though you already have the ship or the shuttle. If you want to get specific enough to implement it differently, fine, but this should suffice. The door is going to block any entry anyway. But anyway, let's just go over it again. Have the shuttle, or you don't want the shuttle, you have the shuttle, spit it out, open the door. You don't want the shuttle, you don't have the shuttle, close the door, spit it out. You want the shuttle, you have the shuttle, and the shuttle is parked, then you close the door. Otherwise, you're going to close the door in its face, so that's why you need the final parking spot. So, again, you want the shuttle, you have the shuttle somewhere on the track, and it's parked. Then you close the door, and in this scenario where we're rotating the ship, you rotate it. We'll go over the rotating in a second. If you want the ship, you don't have the ship, you get this option. You have to open the door and let it in. Alright, and for the rotate, because this final block is already connected to these two activation modules, we just connect it to two more. That will do the 180. And again, once it is on the rail and parked and you want it, you turn it into a rotator, that final part, and then you just do a delay and turn it back. This button is just, all these are the pulling it in, so it just turns it back into a standard rail. And that's pretty much it. So basically all you need is flip-flop knot for want it, don't want it. And then you just need to know, do you have it already or not? If you don't have a hangar door, it's probably not as important. The only issue then is because we're rotating it, you do need to know if you have it or not. So at that point, adding the door is pretty trivial. If you literally just cut this out, nothing changes. But yeah, that is a pretty simple hangar door. See you.